Good dog, and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. I just realized that the battle cruisers I sent here to fight that German battleship, I had accidentally clicked too close to the port here, so they got sent into port instead, which means that the two DDs they had that were slightly damaged are undergoing repairs. But I sent the rest of the ships out again, so they should be able to fight this fight. So that's why I didn't get a meeting here at the start of the month, because I accidentally sent the ships to port. Speaking of meetings, can we get something going here? I thought I was about to encounter these ships. No, the Americans had another task force here somewhere that I think encountered the French. Not sure what happened to the rest of them. Didn't they have like a clash with France somewhere? Not sure. Anyway, these maybe I can get something going here. Maybe. But first, before the next month, let's do this fight here. Another pretty big American light cruiser versus one haughty and a Ragnar class light cruiser. Parrot class DD. Yeah, let's see what this is all about. So I've seen these light cruisers before. They are pretty good. Let's see. These. You're the fastest one here. You shouldn't be held back by Svein. Although Svein can just follow you for now. Actually, just go independent. So here we got the enemy. You've got long-range torpedoes. This is a good torpedo launching platform in this DD. And it's not like super expensive either. It's got some guns on it, but it's mainly a torpedo launching platform. Generation 3 radar. Okay, so we're I just got Gen 3 radar like last month or so, or 2 months ago maybe. Very recently anyway, so I think maybe the Americans have had it for a while. They might be ahead of me there. I know I'm slightly ahead of them in big gun technology, because I saw they researched Mark V 17-inch guns not that long ago, about the same time as I got the Mark V 19s. A little bit before, maybe. But I should be, I think I'm researching the Mark V 20s now, which is basically the last of the big gun technology, and when that's ready, I pretty much have all the technology I need. Let's just take... Oh, you got 15-kilometer torpedoes, never mind. Let's sink that DD first, just because I think it's kind of like an easy target. Okay, it's launched torpedoes, so... Anyway, let's see. Secondaries can target the DD. Same here. Secondaries on the DD. Now let's just turn those torpedoes off so we don't have any accidents when these passes in front of Svein here. That would be a bit embarrassing, wouldn't it? Lose my own light cruiser to friendly torpedoes. No, she had 30 torpedoes. Increased ammunition. Yeah, that... I guess that makes sense. I was just not sure if she'd launched from all three of her quintuple launchers. Because if this one hadn't launched all the torpedoes, despite being on reload, it would actually have one or more launchers ready to go. And of course that means it would still be very dangerous. But if none of the launchers are ready, it's... well, now it's got no torpedoes left at all. So it's not going to be dangerous anymore. So that's fine. And just keep the secondaries focused on it. And just let it sink when it's gonna sink. Let's see, I guess we can do light cruiser on the thumbnail, maybe? And the DD has surrendered. Yeah, 3-inch guns did a number on this thing. Now just the Montpellier left. Which is of course quite dangerous. It's got, you know, similar armor and firepower to my own light cruisers, so it's a fairly even fight. Of course, I do have this one too. It's not actually a 1v1. Yeah, it looks like we're winning. Pretty handily. And these can speed up. Try and get closer. Get in for the kill. Secondaries are opening up now too. Which is very nice. They're not doing too much damage, but well, they're doing a bit. If nothing else, if getting that last bit of flooding should prove too difficult, those secondary guns raking off the crew. We got it by flooding anyway. Nice. And the convoy is, of course, very safe. They never got close to it. Now, let's see. Asia. So I have one task force here. That is... it's this task force. Invading German-held southern China. And I do, of course, have this task force here as well. Let's try and take American Japan. That would be nice. Can I launch an invasion here of maybe Eastern Germany? I think I can. It says I only need 24,000 tons currently, but that's probably because I struck the port of Kiel. So it's been reduced. And that will be a nice thing to take. Not sure if I have the tonnage to take Western Germany later, but maybe the Brits will take it? I'm not sure. Anyway, these ships here need to do something. How about fighting this task force? The Americans have a lot of ships hanging around. Just not sure what they're trying to do. Maybe waiting for reinforcements? Anyway. Let's see. Yeah, I did get the Mark V 19s. So, Mark V 20s would be next. Revolution in Britain. Dudley Alexander has been replaced by Duff Carson. There we go. That's a big one. Zeringen class battleship. 8 20-inch guns and 141,000 tons. Nice. That's a big ship. And a $4.4 billion price tag. That is, that's quite a lot. Again, let's try and keep this enemy ship alive. So that I can take it as war operations. Although, with a price tag like that, will I even be able to quote-unquote buy it when picking war operations? Because I would need quite a lot of victory points to do that. And the problem is that, well, Germany scrapped most of their navy. So they don't have that many victory points for me to farm, really. Let's pick out that light cruiser first. $148 million. That's a very affordable light cruiser. Let's take a look at that battleship. Mark II 20-inch guns. So it's older than the other 20-inch gun ship that we fought. It's got extra beam and draft for more tankiness. It's got decent armor. Well, not the best armor quality though. Okay, now this is an older ship that they have. Not exactly their most modern. Not sure if I like that big turret on that tiny barbette, but if it works, I guess it works. Also, typical AI design. Barbetitis infection. But nothing that a refit can't fix. 25-kilometer range on those Mark IIs. We can quite safely engage from outside of their range. Maybe I should just sink it. Take the money. Take the victory points. I guess that if I just like seriously damage it, so that has to be repaired for a year or more. I should get the same amount of victory points. Almost. It's mostly interesting to take because I don't have any hulls that I can build myself that are quite that size. Are we gonna hit this light cruiser soon? Drop down to cruising speed. Get some accuracy here. Come on. It's not that fast. I guess it is rather small, but it's not that fast. There we go. Couple of good hits. All that was needed. Now this huge battleship should be easier to hit. 28.8 knots. That's quite fast. The 145% armor quality not really cutting it there. Chloride 2 Parker acid. That is kind of explosive, isn't it? No flash fires yet, but that might still come. Torpedo range 12.7. And your engines are normal turbines. There you go, no more turbines for you. Although, actually, you fixed it. There you go. Is it gonna sink? Sink or swim? I guess we let it live. So that actually wasn't too many victory points. This is gonna be some more points though. New Mexico class battleship. That is their latest class because I've seen them be laid down. So that should be, unless I'm mistaken, that should be pretty advanced. Alright. Let's see. They've cooked up. Well, that's a very un-American turret layout, but okay. Let's see. Get my stuff organized here. Okay, I think I got it now. All the DDs have been split up in divisions based on class. And hopefully they can actually form up. And not create too much of a mess here, but I guess it's just gonna be what it is. Let's take a look at that American battleship. Nebraska. I'm kinda liking it. I probably would have liked it more if it was a more conventional ABXY kind of layout, but it's like, it's nothing wrong with this. This is pretty good. Mark IV 20-inch guns. Radar generation 2. Tube powder 1. And let's see. Standard shell size. Reduced ammo, which isn't a bad idea really. It means it's a little bit less explosive. Because it's only got tube powder 1. If this had tube 3, it would be safer and have better range. But the range is pretty good. Speed is very good. Armor looked very good. And despite it having reduced ammo, it still has more ammo than my battleship, because my battleship was in combat last month and is not fully resupplied. Because that's something that takes a lot of time. Let's see, we can set you on save. And the battle cruisers 2. So first to make contact will be the J-33s. Probably. We should be getting into torpedo range of that huge enemy battleship pretty soon. They only have one of those, so I'm not too worried about being outgunned. Let's see. Not quite in range of the battleship yet. There we go. The rearmost DDs are not quite in range, but I guess they will be soon enough. The two first ones are, though, 3310 and 3309. Let's see how the enemy DDs launched. No, they've not. .3310 took one hit, but it wasn't too serious. Everyone has launched. Good. 38s are coming in. My battle line is getting into range. In fact, it is in range. Just isn't firing. We're gonna get torpedo hits on that battleship. One dud. One live on the aft. But there's more. 4 live torpedo hits. Here come the 38 squadron. Before I play with them, let's pick out some targets for the big guns. The 18s are already targeting Nebraska. That is good. 16s, I want you targeting heavy cruisers. The 14s can target light cruisers. Alright, alright. Are we in range of that battleship again with the J-38s? I think we are. Okay, yeah, let's get these torps in the water quickly before... Okay, Nebraska is just gonna sink, isn't she? So... that is cool. In fact, you may detach 3810. Let's get those torps in the water. Ah, you're not that badly damaged. You know what? Never mind. Could have kept you in the unit. Let's see, Nebraska goes down. That was, okay, 38-10. Sinking, 38-17. Probably not going to last that long. But we did get lots of torpedoes in the water. So, many of them aimed at the battleship just because I figured they would be quite in the center of the enemy formation. Would have been a lot of torpedoes on that battleship. What cost me 2 DDs? But I sure got some torpedo hits out of it, even though many of them were on that already sinking battleship. big guns to use on something big. Secondaries can target that light cruiser if it gets closer. Yeah, you can come this way, 3310. Just because I think the enemy might be chasing it. Yeah, that was a pretty scary, scary battleship they made. But I mean, when it takes 12 torpedo hits, or however many it took before it actually sank, counting the ones after sinking might be a little unfair. But when it takes that many torpedo hits, it doesn't really matter how good it is. Or kind of, if it didn't have single hull bottom and only anti-torp 3, could have taken a lot less damage from those torpedo hits, I'm sure. Because that's a bit of a design flaw. And now it's just a matter of gunning down the rest. I want Jotunheim to pay attention and only target heavy cruisers. And I should probably pay some attention to whatever it is my 16-inch guns are targeting as well, because they're also a bit low on ammo. I need to actually consider what they are spending the last of their AP ammo on. Cruisers are doing things. They can keep doing things. They're safe for now. Probably want to bring them in a bit closer after my battleships and battlecruisers have softened up the enemy formation. Should be the end of the heavy cruiser Pueblo. Jotunheim can switch to Mobile. Let's see, how many heavy cruisers do they have left now? Not that many. There goes that one. Jotunheim can maybe try and get Cheyenne. Yeah, she's hitting it. It's just not doing that much, but definitely taking some hits. Flora sinks. Are you running away from me, Cheyenne? I'm gonna have to try and get closer then. Or sending the J-43s to intercept it. They're ready. They can party. Yeah, I guess they just don't have any intact heavy cruisers left. There we go, that's one light cruiser about to sink. No, Famous is still afloat. I completely missed it. Let's just pay attention so I don't sail all my expensive big ships into a swarm of torpedoes. That'll be a bit bad. There we go. Big 18s. Finally scoring some decent hits on that cruiser. You were not in range with your torps. Neither are you. The barrel of fish is taking a lot of hits. As is Cheyenne. I might not even need my DDs here. I kept them back to do to catch anyone trying to run away. Or at least I guess we can pretend that was the plan all along. But that might not be necessary. When Jotunheim keeps landing hits like that at this kind of range. Still landing some hits. Everyone else is firing as well. fine. Okay. I was just about to launch, but then my target disappeared. I guess maybe you can try and launch at Famous, but Famous is attracting a lot of attention now, being the actual last American ship alive. So once again, the torpedoes might not be needed. Nope, that was not needed. Jotunheim executed it. Yeah, that was pretty nice. That was not a bad battleship they've designed. It's just that, well, it had some weaknesses, and it was only one of them. Yeah, lots of battles this month. Here's another one. That's a lot of DDs, again. A lot of DDs and light cruisers, and one New Mexico class battleship. Yeah, let's see if we can do that again. Alright. Let's see. Got my 4 battleships all lined up. The cruisers can just follow, and the light cruiser can follow the heavy cruisers. And then to organize, let's see, my DDs. I'm just gonna join them all together. Like so. And then split them apart like this. And that's why that naming convention is so handy. You can easily see which ship is which class, and organize accordingly. Of course, now all my ships are going to be playing bumper cars for a couple of minutes. Uh, 18 Mark 5s, 18 Mark 5s, 17 Mark 5s. So, bigger guns than last time. The enemy ships are hidden in the smoke screens. There we go, there they are. Battleship is in the middle, Illinois. It's being effectively screened by the DDs this time. Oop. One DD is about to be deleted. Guess that is fine. So Kurtland can focus Illinois. Actually, like so, and like so. That's good enough. Good enough. They can just keep sailing like that. Will I get into range of that battleship before having my DDs all whittled away? Might have to just target something else and hope that the battleship is accidentally hit. Never mind. I am in range of the battleship. How about the Vikings? First two ones are in range. Let's start with the Vikings. At least the first one is in range. Not sure about... the second one is not quite in range. Second one maybe also target Illinois. So you are good to go. Now the J-38s. 3814 has already taken a hit. See, like so, and last one can target the battleship. You are free to launch. 3814, just keep going straight for now. And there you go, everyone is launched. Free to try and get out. 3814 probably won't make it. Everyone here is launched as well. We're gonna see what kind of hits we can get out of this. There we go. We're getting torpedo hits in the middle of the enemy formation. One, actually, yeah, just one so far on the Illinois. But we're probably going to get a couple more, I think. The Vikings are almost completely unharmed. J-38s as well. At least 3 of them. So they get to do that again. Like so. Even my heavy cruisers are joining in. As the enemy DDs are getting a bit close. Let's see, Division 8. Okay, Vikings are back together. We can just chill out here behind the battleships until they've reloaded their torpedoes. But that still leaves the Illinois very much alive and operational. Did not get that many torpedo hits on her. So it might come down to a gun duel. Even so, despite her having the biggest guns here, I've got quite a few more. Seeing as I've got 4 battleships versus 1. And without having triple or even double bottom, yeah, it had a single. It's quite vulnerable to flooding. Not sinks. What sank you? 20-inch. Alright. That was not very sporting. Targeting my little light cruiser with the biggest guns in the entire enemy fleet. And J3814, probably not gonna make it. It's receiving a little bit too much attention. Yeah, there we go. But I think Illinois has had it as well. Yeah, she's gonna flood. And there it goes. Okay, need my battleships to take on the enemy heavy cruisers. Well, they don't have that many left, do they? There. And then my own heavy cruisers can just target whatever comes into range. J38's almost reloaded. Vikings as well. Come back here. I have need of you very soon. I'm gonna try and drop a couple more torpedo spreads into this clustered up formation. All right. So they lost 1, but there are 3 left, so good enough. Battleships putting in some good work. I guess it's gonna be evening soon. So accuracy is gonna drop just a little bit, but the negative modifier to accuracy from nighttime very much reduced when you got radar. Okay, Vikings. Guess you will be in range here first. Let's try and find a target that isn't doing too many weird maneuvers. Okay. Oh, 9, 10. And I guess 12 as well. Not ideal, but with some spread thrown in. Shouldn't be too bad. Amsterdam, maybe? Alright, Vikings, you're done. Yeah, Amsterdam sank, but got my torpedoes away, aimed at it, and that's the important part. Because it was almost stationary, so those torps should land up in mostly in the middle of the enemy formation. It's just too bad you can't just force target an area of the ocean. You have to actually pick a specific ship as your target. I'm just gonna kind of try to pick the ones that are not maneuvering too much. Or at least maneuvering in such a way that the automatically applied lead will not send my torpedoes wild into nothing. There we go. That should be good enough. Like, this spread here is not going to do anything. Neither did this spread here, apparently, but it was a decent attempt. Alright, we got one hit. This is not gonna do much. This is right on the money. Exactly what I like to see. Once I'm done watching my torpedoes hopefully hit something, I have to start picking out targets for the big guns. Actually, disappointingly few torpedo hits here. but yeah, fair enough. There we go, secondaries. Yeah, big gun targets. That's what I was doing. Do they have any heavy cruisers left at all? It seems not. Oh wait, I'm messing up here. There we go. There we go. And secondaries on the closest DD. They haven't launched at me, have they? Seems not. Most of them only have 13-kilometer torpedo range. 17 on that guy. I'm just kind of lucky that the Americans didn't go for oxygen torpedoes on most of their ships, because they have a lot of DDs. Oh, Moonin, you've taken a hit from something. Yeah, it was a 20-inch hit from before that battleship sank. Now your sister ships can speed up and actually catch up to the battleships. Tempting main gun target here with all those tightly packed DDs. Like so, and secondaries on O'Hare. Very nice. Big damage numbers going up. Love to see that. Let's go to ×5 just to speed things up a little bit. And the fish are taking fire from all the barrels. At least the big ones. 10-inch guns too, actually. Would you be splitting your fire a little bit too, just for you know, efficiency? Last of their light cruisers goes down. Let's cease fire with main guns and then just bring in the heavy cruisers directly. It's because these battleships might see combat again next month, and having more ammunition for them, probably a good thing. No need to waste half their ammunition on a handful of DDs that my cruisers can just easily take care of. And there we go. There's another American task force sent down at the cost of, was it 1 DD and a light cruiser? Yeah. That was just careless of me not noticing that it was being focused by the Illinois. So with that, let's see what we have in store for tomorrow. Alright. We got Surtol and Astri, the quadruple super firing ships, as well as the Fridtjof Nansen class battle cruisers and the old dreadnoughts. The dreadnoughts I think I'm just gonna send home, but the newer ships are fighting these Utah class battleships, similar to the big New Mexicos that we just saw, but smaller and I think older. I think we've seen these before. And it's like one of their older types of ship. Anyway, that's for next time. Goodbye, and take care.